In the last video of my Abandoned Lexus series, we made some serious progress. I cleaned the engine bay, and after fixing just a couple issues, we finally got it running. Man, that was a great feeling. But little did I know, we have a serious problem. It won't move.
Not going in here.
No drive, no reverse, nothing. It doesn't even feel like it has a transmission. We thought maybe we didn't fill the torque converter up, but either way, we needed to take out the transmission and the engine, because you have to take them out as one unit, unfortunately. I'm hoping that it's something simple like the transmission harness or something's unplugged, but either way, we're gonna have to figure it out if I ever want to drive this thing. So let's get right into it. Well, we found our problem. The torque converter wasn't even bolted to the flex plate.
Bruh.
Because I guess I didn't order bolts for this when we had it out a year ago or whatever. So now we're trying to find M9 1.25 unicorn bolts. Since Josh is a car surgeon, he's going to retap these M9 threads to M10. So we're going to drill them out. We're going to file the bolts down. So all of that worked fine until the bolts would not line up with the flex plate because of the size difference. Apparently there's some wiggle room when you have an M9, but when you go up a size to an M10, there's no more wiggle room. So the bolts would not go in straight at all. So I went home for the night. I ended up trailering my Forester up to my garage because it recently got totaled. So at least the U-Haul wasn't wasted entirely, but I was planning on trailering 2 cars that day. But whatever. I started to realize that I'm going to need another torque converter, and I thought my best bet would be the guy that I bought my motor off of originally because he has a lot of SCs that he parts out. So I texted him, and he ended up having one. So then I woke up, and I went to go get it. All right, guys, so we lucked out. We're going to buy a new torque converter, the OEM bolts, and a new power steering pump. I don't actually need the power steering pump, but I'm just using it for parts, basically. I need the pulley, the OEM pulley, and I also need the fitting that and it bolts on. You'll see it. All right, guys, so we just picked up the torque converter, and then we got a pretty nice power steering pump here. It's almost as nice as the Reman one that I bought, and this is used, so I can't complain there. But we do have the fitting that I was talking about and the OEM pulley as well. So I really appreciate it. Rich, I'm going to put your stuff in the description.
Yep, thanks, sir. I have over 18 SCs in stock, so hit me up if you need
I don't blame you. You got a gold mine for sure, for sure.
Yep.
And they're only going to go up in value, so
true story.
If they haven't already. But I will put his stuff in the description. He sells SC 300 and 400 parts.
Correct.
All years.
92 up to 2000.
Okay.
No problem, sir.
Thank you. Yep. You have a good one. Have a safe trip. Yep. I will talk to you later, man.
Later, man.
Okay. More havoc. We can't get the torque converter off of the input shaft. We've been prying at it, doing all kinds of stuff to try to get it off. And it will not come off. So I am starting to put 2 and 2 together that there's water in this transmission because this didn't have a dipstick and it was sitting outside. We're trying to source another transmission right now, unfortunately. I'm out here taking L after L with this car, dude. But here's where it all changed. Me and Josh's dad found a 1UZ and transmission with 60,000 miles on it for sale on Marketplace. It was, I think, 2.5 hours away. It was listed for $500. And I texted the guy, and thank God, a few minutes later, he answers and says, yeah, you can come get it tomorrow. So you already know what we did. We packed up the trailer, and we went and got that thing. Now, this dude is crazy, and he had all these crazy drag cars, so that's what you're looking at right now. The tires are like up to my freaking thighs, bro. It was nuts. I've never seen a drag car like that up close, but that was something for real to see. But anyways, the guy was super nice. We talked for a little bit, and then we got our asses home probably around 10 o'clock. It wasn't too late or anything, so hopefully it's worth it. We'll have to see what happens with this new transmission, but let's get back to the garage and get things rolling again. All right, so here is the new 1UZ and transmission. I hope this works in my car. That is going in that Forester. Well, you'll see it eventually. So you heard me say I hope this works in my car, and that is because this is an LS400 transmission. It's not an SC400 transmission. So what I've heard the difference is the solenoid plug you just saw, that 6-pin. Everything else is the same, and the gear ratios are slightly different between the two transmissions, but everything else is plug and play. So after looking at some pinouts, I decided that I'm just going to splice the connector from the 6-pin onto the 8-pin. The reason I can do that is because the newer transmissions only have the extra 2 pins for a transmission oil temperature sensor, which I do not need. I don't even think I have that on my dash. So it's literally not used at all with my setup. I'm figuring out which pins are going to go where and which wires are going to go to what color, because the colors are different on the two plugs, obviously. Once I got them all heat shrunk and sealed, I used these little like solder connectors with heat shrink, and then I did extra heat shrink on top of that just to be safe. So once everything was said and done, I got the drive shaft bolts back in, the transmission and everything was back in the car. And we found a weird short in my door, or some kind of electrical issue, to where the car would not start without the door being positioned correctly and or closed. Very odd issue I'll have to sort out later, but as you can see, the power steering is oozing out like Pepto-Bismol. I don't know why it looks like that. Air is obviously getting into the system. It's also idling up and down, but I suspect that it is the idle air control valve, because they like to stick, I've heard. So I'm going to go through that when I get the car back to the garage, hopefully, and then we can clean it and just see if that fixes the problem or not. It was at this point that I called U-Haul up and said, "Hey, yo, you guys got a trailer I can pick up in 15 minutes? And they're like, "Yup." So I went and got the truck from the garage and brought it down, picked up the trailer, came back, and on my way back, Josh called me and he said, "It moves, but the front right caliper is pretty seized. Like it doesn't really want to move, but it moves." All right, so we got the car out. It moves on its own power, so that's cool. This caliper over here is seized. It keeps sticking to the rotor just from not driving for so long, so it keeps getting locked up. So it's super hard to back out here. And this is also a pretty big hill. Josh's dad's getting his Cummins to pull this way, so then we can put it right on the trailer right there. It's so weird to drive with a seized caliper. I've never had that experience before. So I was trying to be super light on the brakes, but right here, I got stuck. Little burnout here, a little burnout action. Yep. Yeah, that's fantastic. Don't let U-Haul see that one. So we ended up having to back it off and then try it again, because as you can see, we're just not, it's not going anywhere, bro. But I already have my new brakes on the way, so that's at least good. So then I took the truck and trailer up to the garage and dropped it off. And this is the type of pictures that people post on Marketplace, and then you pull up and it looks like this. Bruh. But all jokes aside, guys, I think we made great progress in this video. We only have to fix a couple things, really, to make this thing, like, pretty nice. I have to find the power steering leak. I have to find the coolant leak. I need to fix my seized caliper, aka I'm swapping LS400 brakes onto this thing. I'm just getting all new ones. I'm not wasting any time. Got to put new brake lines on it because they haven't been used in a very long time, so I'm not trying to die. And then we just have to put all the interior back together. It won't look very good, but it'll probably function pretty good. So that's all I got for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video, bro. Peace.